All right, let's start off with the offense. The offense, when you look at some of the struggles that they've had, they've gotten off to their starts that they've gotten off to in football games have been so bad that they just can't get into any kind of rhythm for the rest of the game. I think the best start that they had was against the New Orleans Saints on the road at London, where the first drive of the game, obviously ended off with an interception, but it was a great drive. I mean, that was the textbook. We got all of our playmakers involved. It was a beautiful drive. I mean, Jay Cutler was in a good rhythm. There was a good run-pass balance. The play calling was really, really good. We got into down and distance in that drive, and we still converted first downs. And we pressed their secondary. We forced pass interference calls. It was a very aggressive and impressive drive against the New Orleans Saints. After that, I felt like the offense was still in a rhythm, but penalties really hurt the rest of the drives for that first half. So that was the best that the offense has played in a first half of a game, in my opinion. Probably other than the Chargers. They scored points in that first half. They looked good, but I felt like in that particular game, we really got everybody involved, and we were really pushing the ball down the field in the passing game. I'll put it this way. I think that was the best passing that we've seen in a first half this year. Talk about, this offense just really needs to get off to a great start in this Falcons game to really set the tone for the game, to set the tone for the offense, to get the offense in a rhythm, get your playmakers involved. You want to get Juice the ball early on. You want to get, Kenny the ball early on. Hopefully DP's going to play. You want to get him the ball early on. You want to get your playmakers involved into this game because the Falcons defense is obviously a very good one. Apparently Vic Beasley is going to play Sunday, so that's going to be another added playmaker to their defense. So they're very fast, very Seattle-like defense. So I'm sure all of you guys have watched a lot of Seattle games. They're very much like that defense. They don't have the big names like Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, or Earl Thomas, but their scheme is literally the exact same. Obviously, Dan Quinn coached in Seattle for a very long time. He brought that philosophy to Atlanta, so you're going to see that exact same defense against the Falcons. So this is not going to be an easy defense to score on. This is a very talented defense. So as an offense, you just have to get off to a great start. Even if it ends in a field goal, that's a win for your offense, especially in this offense in particular. And I think that's important to get your offensive playmakers involved early on. Get Jay Cutler in a rhythm early on in the game. You'll see better play for the rest of the game. That is going to be such a key to this game, is getting off to a fast start. If we go 3 and out the first drive, that's okay. It's not ideal, obviously, but that doesn't mean the ship is sinking. I just want to get off to a fast start in the first half, whether that's in the second quarter or first quarter. I think this team just needs to get in some kind of rhythm in the first half of the game, particularly in the first quarter, because you do not want this game to get out of hand early on. And I really think this is going to help Jay Cutler really get into a rhythm. Hopefully this offense, this is the game that they finally explode. They haven't had a good game they have not lived up to their potential. They have not lived up to any expectations so far this season. The roster on this football team, you see a bunch of very, very talented football players. Devontae Parker, out of all the receivers, him and Jarvis have really gotten off to a really good start. Obviously, if he didn't injure his ankle in Tennessee, I think he would have continued that. In all the games that the offense has been very, very bad, he's been one of the brighter spots in any of those games. And he's gotten off to a great start. So is Juice. Juice has been a little bit more quiet lately. Obviously, he won us that game in Tennessee, though. With those 2 big catches back, one on 3rd and goal, the one on a first down action play. But we got to get everybody involved. We got to get Kenny Stills involved. I don't think we've taken one deep shot to Kenny Stills that wasn't. I think we took one in San Diego, but that was really just to stretch the defense. That wasn't a legitimate shot. So I want to be more aggressive in this game. Hopefully we're more aggressive in this game. I've talked about this before, but I think opening up the offense for Jay Cutler and really utilizing what Adam Gase did well in Chicago with Jay Cutler, as opposed to what we did really well in 2016, I think is going to help Jay Cutler. So I think if we open it up, let Jay Cutler move around in the pocket, let him make plays with his arm. Dude, those are the things that Jay Cutler is really, really, really good at. And hopefully we can do some of those things against Atlanta. He is so good at throwing back shoulder fades and so good at stretching an NFL defense and really Obviously if you're a coordinator playing against Jay Cutler, you really don't know what you're going to get from the man. So if he throws deep, he's got a great arm on him, obviously we know that. He's got really good deep ball accuracy. What you've seen lately, he's got great football instincts. He's got a great pocket presence. You saw that in the Chargers game against a very good San Diego front seven. So those are some of the things we need to apply in this game. Really let Jay Cutler play to his strengths with the talent around him, and I think he'll have a very, very, very good game. I think the offensive line, when you look at it and their performance against Tennessee, that front seven is just as good as this Falcons front seven. Very different schemes, the way they utilize them, but very similar in talent. The Titans have obviously 2 Pro Bowlers. They have a very good player, Derek Morgan, as well. The Falcons have the same kind of playmakers on their front. They've got Grady Jarrett, Vic Beasley. They got Tack McKinley, the first-round pick out of UCLA. So they have, some playmakers on their front seven as well. But they're equally as talented, in my opinion. So the offensive line is more than capable of performing well against a very good front seven. And I think they really took a step in the right direction last week. Anthony Fasano really helped them in the run blocking department, and I think you're going to see more of that this upcoming week. But I really think if we utilize what Jay Cutler is and what he has done well his entire career as opposed to what we did well last year, I think good things will come to the offense. We really have to get, like I said, for our offense to have a successful day and our team to have a successful day in general, we have to win the time of possession battle. We have to keep that Atlanta Falcons offense off the field as much as possible. So that means we have to convert first downs. And that means Jay Cutler has got to manage the play clock well and manage the rhythm of the game and the pace of the game. He has not done that well since the Chargers game. He's done that pretty bad since then. And again, I think we have to utilize some of the things he did well in Chicago and really apply that to this offense. And I think we'll see more. I think we'll see way better quarterback play in Chicago because Adam, when he went to Chicago, his job, the reason they hired him there is to turn Jay Cutler's career around. He did that successfully, and obviously that got him the head coaching job here. But what he did is he tailored the offense to Jay Cutler to make him a successful NFL quarterback. Why he hasn't done that here, I don't know. I think he thought the talent around him would be enough, but obviously this doesn't fit him as well as the offense that he had. Don't get me wrong, it's the same offense, but they ran different things formationally. They ran more shotgun plays than they did under center plays, and that was all tailored to Jay Cutler. So we need to utilize some of those things that, again, that they did well in Chicago, bring those here to really help Jay Cutler out, and I think that'll help this offense. So I think if we do those things, I think if we win the time of possession battle, I think if we open up the playbook a little bit more for Jay Cutler to utilize some of his strengths and get into a rhythm early on, I think this offense is going to have a successful day. So those are my keys to the game, and hopefully we hit on some of those beats. All right, let's talk about the defense. Now, the defense is having 0 issues this year. I don't really think they've had a terrible performance all year. They've had some okay performances, but they've never had a bad performance this entire season. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL right now. They're balling out. They have all the confidence in the world as opposed to the offense, and they're just flying around in the football. I think Matt Burke really, even though we lost the Saints game, he really did things better in that game schematically to really utilize and capitalize on our players' strengths on defense. And he's gotten really creative with that. He's really in a rhythm as a play caller right now, and the defense is just loving it. And, I love the way he's running it right now. He doesn't need to change a thing. I think what this defense really needs to do well is be itself. I think we need to continue to be ourselves on a defense. Don't change anything drastically schematically. Obviously, game plan-wise, you have to change some things because of the opponent that you're playing. But be yourself in this game. Do what you do well. Don't worry about what the Falcons do well. Do what you do well and execute that to a T. I think if we do those things in this in this game, our defense is going to have a lot of success. So, what are those things that our defense does so well? Defense is doing really, really well right now. They're winning the battle. They are dominating the battle on first and second down. So that puts your offense in down and distance. And once we get you in down and distance, our pass rush really can get after you. And not only that, but our secondary is a very good man press secondary. That's what they're built on. That's the foundation that they're built on. That's the philosophy that they're built on, and that's what they're really, really, really good at. So they mess up the timing of the offense on third down. They really bump you off your route. That gives the defensive line time to really get after the quarterback. And we're very exotic in our blitzes. We'll send Kiko, off of a edge blitz there. We'll drop back Andre Branch, who's very good at that, by the way. Same thing with Charles Harris. They're both very good in coverage and zone. So those are the things that our defense does well, is just really get you in down a distance, win the battle on first and second down, and then we can really get after your quarterback with our very, very, very talented front seven. So if we do those things against Atlanta, if we win the battle on first and second down, which is going to be very hard to do, obviously, the Atlanta Falcons have Devontae Freeman and Coleman, Telvin Coleman, I can't remember how you pronounce his name. I always get his name wrong. My brother hates me for that because he's a Panthers fan, and we, obviously watch a lot of Falcons games. But, though, if we stop the running game and, like I said, win the battle of first and second down and just do what we're really good at as a defense, as opposed to tailor what we're going to do game plan wise to their offense, I think we're really going to have a successful day on defense. I think we just got to do what we do well. Win the battle on first and second down. Matt Burke, like I said, he's in a rhythm as a play caller right now. If he gets you in third and long, I love that matchup. I don't care what offense we're going against. Our defense is really built for that, and they're very good at it. And, obviously we've been a very dominant run defense this year as well. Like I said, if we continue to be ourselves and win the battle on first and second down, get those guys in down a distance, and really let our guys go, I think it's going to be a very, very good day on defense. Now, obviously, we have to win matchups. In terms of on the boundary in the secondary, Julio is going to be an issue. He always is. I don't care what game he's playing in. He always makes plays. I would imagine Xavier's going to match up with him. And I think we're probably most likely Cordrea is going to match up with Sanu for the rest of the game. But again, I'm not really worried. Like I said, if we just play to what our defense's strengths are and be ourselves and win the battle on first and second down, get them in down distance, and if we hit on those beats and do what we do well, like I said, Matt Burke's in a rhythm right now as a play caller, we're going to have a successful day. As a successful day you can possibly have against the Falcons offense. I really think this defense is just going to have a good day if we just be ourselves. Guys, that has been your preview for this week. It's going to be a good game, and I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a very, very good test for our defense, obviously, and I think the offense needs to they need it. They need to have a good game to really set the tone for the rest of the year, and I think this is as good a game as any of them to really burst out as an offense and really capitalize on the talent that we have on that side of the ball. And I am Skaggs1383, and I will see you guys in the next one.